Welcome back. Your secret number 10 is forgiveness. We've definitely learned a lot about forgiveness over the years.
Yes.
Now, give me your take, your overall take for the ladies, for the wives out there when it comes to forgiveness.
Okay, so in terms of forgiveness, when we're married earlier,
First of all, did you find it easy to forgive?
no, it was very hard for me
Jesus.
because I resented a lot of stuff because I felt like from the get-go. So for me, we had a very beautiful 3 years of dating. And then the moment that
Fantasy.
you put the ring on my finger, it was as if something
It was a
flipped.
wrap.
I was like, wait, what?
Assume position.
I felt like
Duty and responsibilities.
I felt like somebody pulled a rug from underneath me. So there were things that I expected you to
You're
like.
such a baby. How old were you again?
I was 26. I was not a baby.
Oh.
I was not a baby. But if you say I'm a baby in today's world, I guess you would be a baby marrying at 26. Anyway, I would write everything down. I have
A journal?
and it's funny, guys.
Did you have a journal?
I had a journal where I put everything. I wrote them down. I kept records. You know who does that?
That is scary.
Do you know who does that? My mom.
Jesus
Let me tell you
is
something.
Lord. Wait. I have my.
This behavior
I forgot that I have my sound effects today.
Uh,
Anyway, yeah.
my
Go
mom
ahead.
will say, in 1989, your daddy did this, your daddy did it.
Eesh.
And as much as you feel like, I'll never do that,
Mhm.
before you start doing that, you won't even know. I started doing that.
Mhm.
So I had a lot of resentment stored.
Hmm.
And resentment for me, it got to a point that it made me shut down.
Completely.
It started giving me panic attacks.
Mhm.
It started affecting me personally.
Facts.
It was like putting poison in my own system. You know when they say, when you're mad at somebody and you don't forgive them, it's like poison. That was what I felt in that moment. I wasn't angry at you.
Mhm.
I was more angry at the situation.
Right.
And I was angry at the people that I felt like they were the third party.
The one that were driving me.
Creating this mess. And I'm like, I tell myself all the time, my husband is a good man. But unfortunately, it seemed like you're being controlled.
So when I tell these people, right? When I tell these people that it's not good enough that you're good, they are looking at me strangely.
It's not enough. It's not
Yes,
enough
you two
because
ladies. It's not good enough that you're a virgin when you got married. Sorry. I tell them that it's not good enough that you're good.
yes, it's
Right.
not. It's not because when
They-
it got to the point that I started having panic attacks, I told myself, Lola, you need to get the hell out of this relationship.
Relationship or marriage?
Or this marriage.
Okay, all right.
You need a divorce. Like, it doesn't matter if this man is a good man. You can't be dealing with this. It's too much. So all that resentment I was harboring, all these people are in their house eating amala, no buffet and sleeping good sleep. And me, I was stressed out. It wasn't good for me.
Mhm.
But now when people piss me off, you know what? And another thing is I didn't use my words. So something I noticed is that sometimes we look at people and say, that person, her mouth is too sharp. She's too forward. Sometimes I wish I was more like that.
Right.
When someone tells
But you're
you,
reserved. But
I
but
don't
the
tell
way you
people.
present doesn't look like you are reserved. I think people also make up their mind on who they think you are
right,
before they
they
get to
actually know who
you.
I am.
Right.
I get
now,
that.
if it's family, extended family, they kind of know you as like all that, right? But there's a way that the way you present in terms of look wise and anything like that, people just kind of like make up their mind who they think you are. They even before you say anything or like you've never been confrontation with anybody. I know.
Nah,
Even before
I've
you
never
did
done
that,
Mhm.
they're actually scared that you might be confrontational.
Yeah,
at some point.
I mean, I've had my friends. Okay, left. I had my friends tell me that I'm serious. I'm a serious person, and I'm like, what you mean? What
No,
are you
when
guys
it comes to
talking
business,
about?
and
Like-
your professionalism, you are serious.
They say I'm always showing up on time. When they say,
Oh yeah, you're kind of serious in that way too.
yeah, if you tell me we're meeting at 5,
Mhm.
so this is like the white girl in me. I'm Nigerian, but part of me is just not, aligning to that culture of you gotta be late to places. I get there on time, and then people are like,
She's talking about. Oh yeah, so we can grab a seat. And I don't need a seat. We could just leave if there's no seat.
I don't like to go
Do you
to
think I'm an
places.
introvert?
Yes, you are, babe. You
think
are.
so?
You are an introvert.
I think
need to get out
a lot of black people don't
every
believe
day.
that.
Oh,
the
you
Prestige family
are.
probably won't believe that.
They don't believe you. What? You can stay in this house for a week straight up and not see the sun.
I enjoy my own company,
I can't do that. I gotta step out and see
especially
the sun.
if it's with you. I enjoy my own
Aw.
company, especially if it's with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to go out.
That's
I'm
so
very
true.
social. I like to be.
Even me, I said something profound. I felt like that was profound what I just said. I felt like that was profound what I just said. But
Yeah. So the point I'm making about forgiveness is,
yes.
the whole idea of keeping records
Mhm.
is horrible.
so
It
you
kills
feel
you.
like he ate you up.
It definitely ate me up. He ate me up. Like
Yeah.
it made me.
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, when I see these people, I can't even confront them. I just look at them.
No,
I
Shakira,
still say
you know who
hello.
else? I've told you this. You know who else is like that?
Your mom.
My mom. My mom is like, but when it's time to confront the corporate, nothing. I'm like,
It's just
You
not
gotta-
who we
you
are,
gotta-
to be honest.
you gotta tell them.
It's not who we are. But
Right.
I realize that if you have a problem
One
with
example.
someone,
We're driving. You're
Mhm.
driving.
Mhm.
And then you're mad at the people that can hear you. I'm in the car. I'm the one on the receiving end of that.
I'm sorry. That's my. So just so you know, I hate driving.
Okay.
If I could have a driver take me everywhere,
Mhm.
I would rather that.
Mhm.
People just crazy. And I'm the type of person that I'm a short woman, and I'm 5'2".
So it looks like
I have a short
so
man syndrome.
Let's
You
talk,
cannot
let's
walk
talk a
over
little
me.
bit about this. It looks like you're surprised that people are crazy. Me, I already know that people. Yeah, I already know that people are crazy, right? So when they act like today, like we were driving to the shop and
And that guy tried to.
and somebody tried to cut. I already seen it in the side of my eyes. I was trained a professional driver, by the way. I
You
drove
were
for FedEx
exactly.
for 6 years. So I already see this guy. I'm driving for everybody's when I'm driving. I'm driving for it's God though that protects me, but my records are clean in terms
You're
of
a good
that.
driver. You taught me how to drive.
Uh-huh.
At least.
So now, but you're not yielding to when it comes to safety. When it comes to when I teach you how to drive, she feels stressed when I'm sitting down next to her. But anyway,
It's like driving a military
so-
officer. My husband will be like,
so I was like, I got you, babe. I got you.
Yeah, but you have
And
to
then she was
understand.
like, no, but you have to understand that it's not just me that reacted that way. But okay,
I have
when you-
PTSD when it comes to
you
driving.
do.
When I got hit twice. by
when
people.
you react that way, right?
Yeah.
I already seen the person you're pointing at, but my mind goes to, is there something else that I haven't seen? Because me too, I'm always watching, right? But the point we're making here is that not being able to address issues with the people, the actual corporates, right?
Yeah, but taking it out on your
But taking
partner.
it out on,
Yeah.
that's what forgiveness does. When you don't know how to forgive, the people that are left around you are not the person that offended you, but
They
your children will eat out of that, the poison of that, the spirit that won't let you forgive. But I also tell people, I don't know, did you finish your thoughts on forgiveness? So this is your
I'm just
secret.
saying that,
I also tell
letting
people,
go and letting God, regardless of what happened,
you have to do everything in your power to
it
do
made
that.
me feel so much happier.
Yeah.
When I left those things, I was like,
You have to
know
do
what?
everything. Like, we're not, this is what I was going to say. We're not saying it's easy, because it wasn't easy for her. I struggled with that realizing that it wasn't easy for her, because I don't think what I'm doing is forgiveness. It's just not, I'm not harboring it, right? So I judge her from the standpoint of thinking I am a better forgiver. But the issue is that I didn't really store the resentment in the first place in order for me to need to forgive it, right?
And you also address things too. You are the type of person that just address things. And I had to learn to address things. Right. If I'm not okay with something, I say, I'm not okay with that. Yeah. I'm not gonna say, oh, but this is how we're supposed to be because of Nigerian culture. I don't do that anymore. I choose myself.
Yeah, just address it respectfully.
Respectfully.
You can start your statements with respectfully.
I'll get back to you on that.
You can see, I mean no disrespect, but right? You can, but you need to address issues, because if you don't address them, you're not letting go of them. They store inside of you as poisons. And I'm not talking spiritual. I'm talking about reality. Okay. So, but also if you're with the person who seems like they're struggling with forgiveness, your patience is going to help a lot. I think we're still going to talk about that.
Right.
So forgiveness is definitely about you choosing peace, your own personal peace, over frustration. And I think I like that secret too. Yeah. Natu says, I like to go out because staying at home gives me anxiety.
Yeah, it's too much. I got to see the sun. I'm such a sun person. I love it.
All right. Let's have it. Let's move on. We'll be right back.